Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale, Srimati Radhanath Swami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deva, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pascharya Deshata. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaurav. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyacha, Patitani Pavanabhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo. Shri Shri Radha Nadbar ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki. Devotees, today the topic is Giriraj, Govardhan, the holiest of all places, the purest of all pure, the embodiment of love, embodiment of prema. I would like you to repeat after me. There is a mantra, just like every deity is greeted with a mantra. Govardhan, Giriraj, has a special way of greeting him. So when you see Giriraj Govardhan, every day you can chant this. So I do want to chant this with you. Please help me. Please repeat after me. Namaste Girirajaya,
Namaste Girirajaya,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Paramananda Daine.
Paramananda Daine.
So 4 lines, beautiful mantra. How to greet Govardhan? Huh? So if you see Giriraj on the altar, if you remember Giriraj, if you pray to Giriraj, you start with this. We'll do one more time. Namaste Girirajaya,
Namaste Girirajaya,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Paramananda Daine.
Paramananda Daine.
Namaste Girirajaya,
Namaste Girirajaya,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Shri Govardhan iti namine,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya,
Paramananda Daine.
Paramananda Daine.
So very simple mantra. The first is Namaste Girirajaya. I pay my respectful obeisances to Shri Giriraj. Krishna says, Man mana bhava, mad bhakto, mad yaji mam, namaskar. So namaste or namaskar is one of the 4 most important aspects of devotional service. In fact, people when they go to Giriraj, they really embody this Namaskaru principle. Namaskaru principle, we have to come and pay obeisances to the deities. Prabhupada said if you don't pay obeisances to deities, then you will pay obeisances to Maya repeatedly. And you will pay obeisances to repeated birth and death. If you don't come and pay obeisances to deities, you have to pay obeisances to birth and death. Death is like an obeisance, right? You're lying flat on the ground, like dandavat we say. And so like that. So, and Giriraj embody Namaskaru because when devotees go to Giriraj, they not only pay obeisances, but they do a dandavat parikrama. So not only they do parikrama, which is the embodiment of pada sevanam, the principle of pada sevanam, parikrama of a holy place is pada sevanam. But also they do dandavat parikrama and they fall like dandas at the various kundas, at the various deities, and they actually roll in the dust of Braja and they eat it and they take bath. Somebody may say eating, yes, if you have faith, it will not affect you. And they take bath. So this principle of Namaskaru, which is such an important principle, is embodied by Shri Giriraj and his worship. Okay, so Namaste Girirajaya. Shri Govardhan. Giriraj is also known as Shri Govardhan iti namine. The essence of Govardhan or Govinda or Goloka is one who nourishes the cows. Govardhan. Giriraj, we will find in this pastime that Giriraj nourishes our senses. He not only nourishes our materially, our senses, but also spiritually, our senses, our atma, our consciousness. He nourishes our bhakti, he nourishes cows, he nourishes the Brajvasis, he nourishes the mood of prema in Vrindavan. So Giriraj is one of the main uddipans or stimulus of prema in Vraja. Ashlesha klesha nashaya, any difficulty one has, people go from all over the world. Of course they ask sometimes for material things, but that is also okay, you know. Bhakti Tirtha Swami said, who else we will ask from? We do not worship devatas. We do not worship anybody else. So a child, if he needs something, he will ask his father. Of course, when that child matures, you know, then he wants to only serve. So Ashlesha Klesha, and the biggest Klesha is this material life, repetition of birth and death, our material desires, our desire for fruitive activities. So Ashlesha Klesha Nashaya, and he gives Paramananda, spiritual bliss. He gives Ananda to those who ask him. Okay, so we will divide our talk into three parts. The first part is appearance of Sri Govardhan. In Garga Samhita, this pastime is beautifully illustrated by Sri Garga Muni. We have a reference as Garga Samhita for the entire talk. There is a very beautiful English commentary of Garga Samhita by His Holiness Danavir Goswami Maharaj, and we have in our library. So anybody who's wants to be more immersed in Braj Prem or Braj Katha, Krishna Katha, they can read Garga Samhita. So our reference would be Garga Samhita. We will do first appearance of Govardhan. How did Govardhan appear and what is Govardhan? First part. Second part, the story of Sri Govardhan Puja. In Garga Samhita it is said that those who narrate the story and those who hear the story with faith, with Shraddha, they are blessed with wealth, happiness and eradication of all sins. And those who do not celebrate Govardhan Puja festival, they get poverty, unhappiness, old age and death. So this Govardhan Puja festival is one of the most important festivals in our parampara. So we will then talk about Govardhan Puja festival, brief chronological story, and then finally the lessons to be learned from this entire pastime, right? They say the moral of the story is this, right? So we will do the third part is the moral of the story. And Naveen Krishna Prabhu introduced me as a disciple of Radhanath Swami. Actually, I'm a very fallen disciple of Naveen Krishna Prabhu and Vraj Bhakti. I'm trying to please them, but I'm repeatedly fallen. I haven't been able to please them. Whatever he had to say because... but I'm getting about a 0.5 out of 10 in his book. So, appearance of Govardhan. And devotees, please, I would encourage you to read the poetic embellishments and the poetic beauty of this pastime from the scriptures. I can only do a little bit. So it is described in Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna and Radha are enjoying in a forest grove, among waterfalls and cuckoos and peacocks. And Radharani requested Shri Krishna to create a place, a special place for a rasa dance. And Krishna said, so be it. And because of Radharani's desire, because of Radharani's heartfelt desire to give Krishna the highest pleasure, from Krishna's heart, from the heart of Krishna, a particle, or you can say a molecule emerged, which was not water and it was not fire. It was something in between. It like a crystal, appeared, and that crystal shot up like a bamboo. And actually, it was Krishna's tears, which manifested from Krishna's heart, which came out, and suddenly it took the form of a mountain. And that mountain is described as prema of Krishna's heart. So Giriraj is nothing but the condensed essence of prema in Krishna's heart, which Krishna manifested due to Radharani's desire. So it is Radharani's desire, Krishna's heart, his tears, which have condensed into the stones of Giriraj. And that is why they are worshipable. They are worshipable because they are nothing else but solidified prema of both Radha and Krishna. As Govardhan appeared, because the prema, the nature of love is it expands without any limit. The nature of love is it becomes deeper and deeper and more condensed and condensed, and it grew without a limit. So very soon the entire Goloka Vrindavan, although Goloka Vrindavan is unlimited, entire Goloka Vrindavan became filled with this mountain, much to the fear of all the residents of Goloka, because there was no space for anything else. There was nothing left in Goloka but Giriraj, which basically just filled up the Goloka with Krishna Prem. But obviously the Goloka Vasis are, the Goloka even cannot expand as quickly as Giriraj. So Krishna stood up, and Daivik may liked it, and slapped Govardhan. So Krishna slapped Govardhan, hey, what are you doing? You are inconveniencing my devotees. And our Garga Samhita, our Acharya, has explained that just because I may be feeling ecstasy or ecstatic symptoms, or I may have seniority or whatever, I should not disturb other devotees because of my ecstatic symptoms or my bhava. I should be considerate. Even an advanced devotee like Giriraj should be considerate about the convenience of other devotees and their well-being. Yes? So Giriraj came immediately to his senses, and he made himself proportionate to Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Now this is happening in the spiritual world. Okay. Immediately Goloka became, it is described, he is 8 yojanas long. 1 yojana is 8 miles. So 64 miles long. He is 5 miles wide, 40 miles wide, and 2 miles tall. So 16 miles, okay? So just to give you an idea, Mount Everest, the tallest mountain, is approximately 31,000 feet, right? About 8,000 meters, okay? So 8 kilometers, which is about 3 miles. So that's the tallest peak, right? Right? Krishnaji, math? Something like that. So Govardhan became 16 miles high, 40 miles wide, and 64 miles long. Okay. This is happening in the spiritual world. Okay. Now, the birth and appearance of Govardhan in this material world, in Bhauma Vrindavan, has 2 different explanations. And 3 different explanations actually. And how did 3 different explanations can exist simultaneously? Baladev Vidyabhushan gave a very nice commentary on that. So 3 ways Govardhan appeared. First is, we know that 5,000 years ago, when Sri Krishna came on this material world to do his pastimes, and Srimati Radharani requested Sri Krishna, Krishna requested Srimati Radharani, I'm going to go to the material world, the day of Radharani, Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani said, I will go to this material world on one condition. Hare Krishna. And this is thoda sa aap idhar aa jaye to bahut acha.
Possible not to block the way, if you can move. Either you can move that side or this side.
Yes. Please come forward. Please take darshan of this beautiful hill which is assembled by Vrajrasika and her Gopi friends. Okay. So we are discussing Giriraj. How Giriraj appeared. Ranchod is okay. So 3 explanations in the scriptures how Giriraj appeared in this way. So Krishna says, let's go to the material world. All we have to do is some rasa dance. I will meanwhile take care of the business. So Radharani said, I will only go to this material world on one condition. There has to be the forest of Vrindavan, there has to be Yamuna, and there has to be Giriraj Govardhan. So please take them with you. So it is said that Krishna manifested these things in their original beauty before he came down to display his pastimes. That's one explanation. The second explanation is that Govardhan, in this material world, he took birth as the son of a mountain called Drona. And that is the same mountain Shri Hanuman was carrying to build the bridge when there was a Kashmir, that the bridge has been built and you can leave him there. And it was the same mountains, our acharyas explained, that eventually Shri Hanuman went and got the medicinal herbs to save Ram and Lakshman's life. So Drona, the father of Giriraj, is no less a servant. So Drona, it is described that he is in Salamali Dvipa. Now why is this important? We are in Jambu Dvipa. It is described that there are 7 islands and 7 oceans. Salamali Dvipa is surrounded by sugarcane ocean, an ocean of sugarcane juice. Now, we're not going to go into the details of Vedic cosmology, but you can research this. So, he took birth in Salamali Dvipa, not in this Dvipa, much, much further away. And once Pulasya Muni, who was living in Kashi, he went on a pilgrimage of this whole universe. And he ended up in Salamali Dvipa as a guest of Drona and his wife. And there he saw Govardhan. And when he saw Govardhan, he was amazed. He realized that this place is not only the best of the mountains in the whole universe, it also is a perfect place for austerity, meditation, liberation. But he felt this intense prema and happiness, meaning his austerity was not dry. His austerity was not dry. This is one secret of Giriraj. When people go to Giriraj and go around Giriraj, no matter how much material inconveniences are there, if they fix their consciousness on Giriraj, they feel immense joy and happiness. So Pulasya Muni had the same experience in the Salamali Dvipa of living in Govardhan and experiencing the beauty of Govardhan. So Pulasya Muni, as he was leaving, Drona asked very humbly, can I offer you something, a return gift? And Pulasya Muni requested that Govardhan be taken away to Banaras, to Kashi. And for Drona and his wife, this was a very, very big heartbreak. They could not part with Govardhan. And immediately Drona started crying and weeping. And Pulasya Muni is a yogi. He's hard-hearted. Sometimes yoga and tapasya can give rise to ego. So that is important, that yoga and tapasya should give birth to humility. Advancement should give birth to humility. Knowledge should give birth to humility. So Pulasya Muni was immediately ready to curse. And so then Govardhan intervened. He said, I will come with you. I will come with you, but on one condition. If you put me down before you reach Kashi, then you will not be able to lift me up again. So again, Pulasya Muni, with his mystic power, he lifted this huge mountain, and with his entire strength, he's carrying Govardhan to Kashi. But as soon as he passed over Vrindavan or Braj Mandal, Vrindavan forest, Govardhan, by his own mystic potency, deluded the Muni, and suddenly he had this irresistible urge to answer a nature's call. Now, this is a Muni who can fly to Salamali Dvipa. There is no material considerations for him. He has transcended with his yoga and mystic power. So he just could help it. And he had to come down and put Govardhan gently and answer the nature's call, take a bath in Yamuna and do his thing. And then after doing his prayers in Braj, he was ready. But this time he was not able to lift Govardhan. He tried all his mystic powers and his might, but he was still not able to even move Govardhan. So then he asked Govardhan, why are you doing this? Govardhan reminded him of the agreement, the contract they had. And they said, now I will not go. And he became quiet. Pulatsya Muni, in his anger, cursed Govardhan. You are very proud of being at one place and situated here. I curse you that little by little you will go down in this earth and disappear. And Acharyas explained that as long as Govardhan Hill is on this planet, Dharma will remain on the planet. When Govardhan Hill disappears, that will begin the worst of Kali Yuga, the immense sin in Kali Yuga. There is piety on this planet Earth because of Govardhan. And he's not an ordinary hill. He comes right from the spiritual world, then to Salamali Dvipa, then to Jambu Dvipa and this planet Earth. That is one pastime, how Govardhan appeared in Vrindavan. The third pastime is obviously when Hanuman was carrying Govardhan from Salamali Dvipa to Lanka. There was a celestial voice, a conch, that the bridge is complete. And Govardhan was very upset that I will not get to serve Rama. Then Rama pacified Govardhan. Yes, you're not blessed with the darshan of my feet right now, but when I come in the form of Sri Krishna, you will be my playground. And you will be the pastime place of our eternal, most intimate leelas. And not only me, you will be the Haridas Varya, the best servant of all the devotees, and all the Brajvasis and the cowherd and devotees from all generations forever will bless you, will take your blessings like that. Because Govardhan is Haridas Varya, he's the best servant. Lord blessed him that devotees will come and they will take your shelter. So like that. Now, how is it that, Govardhan was already here, Pulatsya Muni pastime happened much before 5,000 years ago, Ramayana already happened, then why is Radharani telling Krishna that I will only go to this planet Earth if there are three things? Govardhan is already here. And Baladev Vidyabhushan said this is exactly just like Devaki Nandan Krishna merged with Yashoda Nandan Krishna when Vasudev took him to the house of Yashoda, and the two Krishnas merged together and became one. The Vasudev Krishna and Yashoda Krishna, the Braj Krishna and Vasudev Krishna became one. Similarly, when Radha and Krishna descended on this earth, planet Earth 5,000 years ago, similarly, the Govardhan in the spiritual world came down with them and merged with the Govardhan which was present in Bhauma Vrindavan, which was brought by the desire of Drona and Pulatsya to Braj and Shri Hanuman and Shri Ram to Braj. So hopefully that's the explanation I found. Okay. Now, so these are some of the pastimes associated with appearance of Shri Govardhan. Now we will look at the Govardhan Puja festival. On the day of Diwali, the first thing Krishna and Balaram did was showed a very important principle which happened on this day. First, they asked food from Brahmanas who were engaged in ritualistic sacrifice on Diwali. And the most important lesson here was the Brahmanas being engrossed in their puja and their yajna and their meditation and their tapasya, they would not give food to Krishna and Balaram. They said, you are ordinary people, get out of here. And they requested, we are very hungry, please give us something to eat. And Annadanam is considered the basic upkar. Huh? Nobody refuses food to a hungry man. But this Yajnika Brahmanas, they would not give food to Krishna, Balaram and the cowherd boys. And then Krishna told, please go to their wives. And their wives, who were simple-hearted cowherd women, they not only gave their food, but also their heart and their soul to the Gopals and to Krishna Balaram. So one thing it is important is to understand the letter of the law, but also the essence of the law. The essence of the law is kindness towards all living entities. Amanitvam, adhambitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam, acharya vasanam, saucham, sthairyam, atma vinigraha, indraartheshu vairagyam, anahankaram evacha, janma mrityu jaravyadi dukha doshanu darshanam, asakti anabhivisanga, putradara grihadashu, nityam cha samachittatvam, ishtanishta papatishu, maichanana yogena, bhaktya vicharana. So the essence of Bhagavad Gita or essence of spiritual life has to be always kept in forefront and in the beyond all our rituals and our puja and our mantras and our titles and positions. If we cannot serve other jivas with humility, if we cannot please other jivas with humility, then it's all a big show. So everything is a big show. So that is important to understand from this very pastime. Spiritual trumps ritual. So Krishna did this pastime. And then after that, when he came back from his play, that same day, he sees that the Gopas, the cowherd of Vrindavan, Nanda Baba and all of them, they were engaged in a very elaborate sacrifice. And Krishna asked, and devotees, although you may have heard this, somebody told me that a loving mother, no matter whether her child is stammering, hakla ke bol raha hai, or speaks ABCD, or defends his PhD thesis, a loving mother loves it equally and takes pride in it equally. Similarly, devotees, when they hear Govardhan Leela for the first time or 10,000 times, they take equal pleasure in that. So, and it's said that on this day of Govardhan Puja, one who hears this narration with faith develops wealth, prosperity, and happiness. Of course, spiritual wealth, spiritual prosperity, spiritual happiness is included. So, so Krishna saw Nanda Baba and the cowherd making a very elaborate, they had created all, yajnas and sacrificial paraphernalia. And Krishna asked Nanda Baba and the cowherd, what are they doing? And Nanda Baba replied that they are doing a sacrifice for Indra. Indra, as cowherd communities, as farmers, cows and fields depends upon rain, and rain comes from Indra. So this is our annual festival of Indra Puja. That we have to placate Indra, we have to make sacrifice and ritual to devatas to placate them so that they can give us our due. And Krishna replied with an atheistic philosophy, which is also called as Karma Mimamsa philosophy or Karma Khanda philosophy. Krishna said, Baba, rain falls everywhere. It falls in the ocean, it falls on the ground, it falls everywhere. As long as so he said, devatas are empowered administrators. As long as one do one's duty and follow the laws, then the devatas are obligated to give what is our due. There is no reason for a special puja. Of course, this is an atheistic philosophy, because even though you may do your duties very well, number one, from a very material standpoint, we know that misfortune can fall on anybody at any time. And there is a karmic sequence of actions and reactions which we are facing in this world, from a very material standpoint. From a spiritual standpoint, liberation, transcendence, those are other aspects of worship. So that's a separate aspect. But the first aspect is that just doing your duties does not guarantee success. You have to be in harmony with this cosmic universe and give pitras and devatas their due and jivas their due. Of course, one who has taken shelter of Krishna is exempt from this. gato mukundam parihartya kartum. So very famous Bhagavatam verse. But anyway, Krishna spoke like that, and Krishna spoke very sweetly. Nanda Baba told Krishna, Krishna, okay. And Krishna also suggested that cows depend upon Govardhan for the fresh grass and the waterfalls and the clear streams and lakes. And we also depend upon Govardhan for various pastimes and play areas, and so much Giriraj gives us. So we should do puja of the cows. We should do puja of the Brahmanas. Now, Brahmana is not by caste. Brahmanas mean those who are spiritually learned, spiritually self-realized. Brahman janiti iti Brahmana. This is what our acharyas have taught us. In our society, we don't have any discrimination based upon birth or caste or even sex or anything. Anybody can be a Brahmana if he display exemplary qualities of a Brahmana. And what are those qualities? He should be engaged in he should be very, very learned and knowledgeable. He should be engaged in teaching that education and knowledge to others. He should give it to others. He should be engaged in worship of the deity, worship of Krishna. This astikism. Astik is a quality of Brahmana. Brahma karma subhavajam. Jnana vijnana, astikyam. Gyan, knowledge, vigyan, wisdom, and astikyam, having faith in God. And he should be able to give that faith to others. Right? And then he should live in simplicity, accept charity, but immediately give that charity to others. So Krishna said that, Baba, please worship Govardhan Hill, the cows, and the Brahmanas. This is our source of sustenance, not Indra. And herein lies a very, very important principle of life, which will talk about the essence of the pastime. So Nanda Baba and the cowherd, they wanted to please Krishna. They were in love with Krishna. Krishna spoke so beautifully. Krishna spoke, gave very arguments. So they said, okay. First they said, we'll do a separate sacrifice. But Krishna said, Baba, this will take so much time. Why not today? Today is a holy day, auspicious day. Why not today? So they said, all right. So then Krishna explained to them what to do. Krishna said to all of the Brajvasis, send the message to Vrindavan that let's make tons of food, prasad. So the first principle of this festival, everyone should make something for Thakurji. Make something and bring it. Let's offer this mountain of food, which is the essence of this festival. You see it, devotees. This is none other than Giriraj, this food. And we will all partake in this wonderful Naivedya, Prasad, Bhoga, which is offered to Giriraj, to Krishna. So said, first we should bring a lot of food and offer it to Giriraj as Giriraj Puja. We should do his worship. We should ritualistically do all the elements of worship. Then we should worship the cows. We should bring the cows, worship the cows. And then we should worship the Brahmanas by washing their lotus feet and giving them profusely in charity. So devotees, one of the essence of this day and this festival, yes, devotees are celebrating Dhanteras and Diwali and all of this, but devotees, hamaro dhan, Radha. For us, we can light the lamps, and yes, we obviously pray, but this is our wealth. Our wealth is Radha. So in this day, in this festival, actually to accumulate stocks and bonds and property and gold and silver for one's own gratification is actually, which you don't need, is actually not needed. According to Vedas, accumulation of things you don't need. Instead, in this Diwali festival, in this Govardhan Puja festival, in this season, one should give charity to learned people. One should give charity to either cows or those who are engaged in protecting and worshipping cows. And one should give charity to Krishna, worship Giriraj to Krishna. This is the essence of this month. Not mindless collection of gold and silver. According to Vedic knowledge, according to Isha Upanishad, accumulation of things you don't need is sinful, is papa. So no need. Absolutely no need. The need is to give charity. One should give to something. And of course, one can give annadanam, one can give dhanam to people who is in need. So this is the first principle. So similarly, the Brajvasis celebrated this large festival. It's also called Anna Kuta. Kuta means mountain. We say we have Kuta of sin. Bijam Kutam, right? Kuta. Although it's manifest in a seed, but it's like mountain of sin which is in our heart. So our Kutam, our Karma Kutam can be nullified by Anna Kutam. Make prasadam, offer it to Thakurji and distribute it to others. That is the real essence of this festival. Okay, so obviously they did that. Beautiful, beautiful description of this festival given in the scriptures. And after that, all the Brajvasis circumambulated Govardhan hill. Cows, all the animals, the Brajvasis, the women in the front, children and women in the front, men in the back. Like that, and they had this amazing kirtan, and Krishna and Balaram were leading the kirtan. So it is Krishna and Balaram's direct instruction how to celebrate this festival. It is Krishna's direct instruction to Nanda Baba what is pleasing to him and how to celebrate the festival. The whole day and whole night was spent in festivities and lamps and parikrama and food and charity and giving cows and pleasing and serving the brahmanas. And of course they all went to sleep. And next day, Indra realized what had happened. And Indra is a Devata, right? Just to know, Devatas are empowered administrators. They are given a position in this material world because of their pious activities. And they have some devotion in their heart. But their devotion is mixed devotion. So, opulence in this material world, high position, comes from good karma plus Lord's mercy. Both the things are necessary. Those who have some opulence in this material world, yes, they have done good karma in this life and previous life, but they have done something to please the Lord. Otherwise, you can do very much karma and you will be working in a football stadium in Qatar and die from the heat, and your dead body will come home. So, follow my point. Only hard work and good intention does not guarantee opulence in life. So, one's opulence should be used to serve Krishna and get out of this whole cycle of birth and death altogether. Whatever opulence one has, intelligence, beauty, jnanam, knowledge, money, wealth, resources, should be used in serving Krishna. Because karma is hit and go, it's touch and go. Nobody can say they cannot make a mistake. Nobody can say what they did in their previous life. But Krishna's mercy is for guaranteed, it's eternal. And this credit never goes away. Karma can be finished in 1 second. Maybe I may be using some karma from which I have accumulated, and next birth I'm going to be a slave somewhere in a jungle. I don't know that, right? So this is an important principle to understand in life. That all opulence is from the blessing of the Lord. Because I have done in some lifetime something. Otherwise I would be building the football stadium in Qatar without any pay, with my passport seized up. Slavery. I would be a slave. So, in different ways. I have nothing against Qatar or football. But I did not watch soccer. I do like to watch football, but I did not watch because 7,000 people died. 5,000 from India in building that stadium. That's a whole different thing. In this material world, no matter how good of a karma you have, it's always mixed 100%. Nobody can say I have pious karma. The sheikh who built that stadium will suffer. His suffering is coming. So nobody, no matter how much good karma you have, it is always mixed, and happiness inevitably is followed by suffering. Inevitably. And happiness is inevitably mixed with suffering. Nobody can say I'm fully happy at this moment. And even if you're fully happy, your mind will tell you one thing which is lacking. So 3 things. Number 1, any happiness is followed by suffering, just like the 2 sides of the coin. Nobody, this is a principle of this material world. Nobody can enjoy in this world without suffering. Number two, that happiness is always mixed with suffering. And number three, if nothing else is there, then Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adi Adhyatmika miseries are there. This is a fundamental principle of material reality. And if anybody thinks otherwise, if anybody thinks he has to enjoy this material world, he will have to stay here and take another birth. This is a spiritual principle. And you believe that your family and your friends and your wealth and your resources can actually save you and give you happiness, then this is called fruitive activity. Then you have to come and take birth. Continuing onwards, Krishna said, worship Giriraj, worship the cows, give charity, and feed everybody. This is spiritual. Everything else we do in this festival, all people generally speaking they do. Please come inside. Thank you.
Mataji, would you like to please move that side? We can block in the way. Let's lay on our space.
Thank you. And we apologize for this musical chairs. Okay, continuing onwards, Indra was very, very upset. This little boy. Now, Indra is a devotee, but the forgetfulness of Krishna is caused by arrogance and pride. Aham, Krishna says, Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Indra, although is a devotee, he became so intoxicated, and pride means intoxication. And pride means Vaishnava Prad. Pride means aparadh to others. And then pride means fall down. And pride means whatever opulence you have, Krishna will mercifully take it away. That's what pride means. So this pride is the biggest lesson to be learned from this pastime. Indra's pride. Indra forgot his position. And although there were Brihaspati and other people telling him, no, Baba, it's okay. That's all right. No, but he just became so angry that his response was, I would kill all of these people. I would not only kill Krishna and Balaram, I will kill all the Brajvasis and all the cows, and I will inundate Vrindavan and finish Vrindavan. This demoniac, annihilative, tendency. So Indra accumulated and brought his military industrial complex and his deep state to annihilate everything. Annihilation is not because of religion. War is not because of religion. It's because of pride in resources, wealth, and weapons, and the military industrial complex and the deep state. So Indra said, all right, we'll annihilate everything. So he brought the Samvartaka clouds. And then it is described that he deluded Vrindavan with the most intense rainfall and hail and thunderstorms and lightning. And the entire pasture grounds became filled up with water, and Vrindavan began to drown and flood, and the cows began to drown. And there was not a space, not an inch left. And this rain which is falling, it's falling like columns, it is described, columns of steel are falling. And there is simultaneous thunder and lightning which would break and shatter your heart. And Brajvasis, they understood what had happened. We trusted Krishna. And Nanda Baba started chanting the names of Indra, different names of Indra. And Krishna, it is described that usually when he kills a demon, he tightens a belt and becomes ready. But here he told all the Gopas and Nanda Baba, please do not worry. Please send a message to everybody. Just come to Govardhan. And he went to Govardhan and effortlessly lifted Govardhan with the tip of his pinky finger. And our acharyas explained that devotees may go through difficulty. They may go through severe test. But if they stick to Krishna, eventually Krishna will protect them. Eventually, Krishna will always protect them. He will protect them both materially and spiritually, eventually, if they stick to Krishna. But generally, people kind of take shelter of mind and fear and anxiety and insecurity, and then whatever comes from that. So having faith in Krishna, having faith in the name, that Krishna will ultimately protect me if I remain true to Krishna. So this is an important principle. So Brajvasis went to Govardhan Hill and Krishna effortlessly lifted Govardhan Hill. Not only effortlessly lifted Govardhan Hill, he invited Sesha and Sudarshan. Sesha made a boundary. Now Govardhan is a huge hill. And Acharyas have explained that it is going down every time. This huge mountain, Krishna immediately, lifted it and gave shelter. But what about all this rain and thunderstorm and hail and the mud and all the inconveniences? Sesha came and made a boundary around the Govardhan hill. Not even a drop of water could come. And Sudarshan, even before the water would fall, Sudarshan would evaporate everything. And Sudarshan created the most, sometimes, climatic inconveniences. Sudarshan created the best environment for Brajvasis. And look at the blessing of this festival, or blessing of this suffering. That Brajvasis, it is explained that never before or never after, all of the Brajvasis simultaneously were able to associate with Krishna for 7 days and 7 nights together without any interruption. And they never felt fit. And it was not that below Govardhan Hill was just like a little ground. Krishna created the most beautiful place for devotees to reside, and parks, and couches, and bedsteads, and every imaginable luxury possible for devotees. Sometimes it is said that maybe what will I do 7 days? For 7 days, nobody blinked an eye. For 7 days, everybody drank Krishna's beauty to their heart's content. Not only that, they invited Krishna in their heart. Obviously, Krishna was lifting the hill and he had to kind of hold the hill, and the cowherd boys were putting their sticks up. Sometimes Krishna would transfer a little weight and they would fall down unconscious. Then they would wake up with no recollection of what happened. But Krishna was reciprocating the desire of every devotee. Every devotee took Krishna in their heart, and it is described that in that sacred space of their heart, every devotee was having their swarupa and their lila with Krishna for 7 days continuously. Gopis were having conjugal rasa with Krishna. Yashoda experienced all of the rasas. Of course, she was angry at Krishna. Why did you offend Indra? Then she was bewildered with wonder and excitement. Then she was laughing uncontrollably by seeing Krishna's mercy. Krishna was showing his arm. Look at my muscles. I'm not the least bit tired. And Gopas and Krishna are having this parihas, humor and different things. And the Gopas and the cows are licking Krishna's body. So it is described, I wish I had more poetic embellishments like some of the acharyas and I can speak like that. But that's my inability. But anyway, the essence is that for 7 days and 7 nights, every single Brajvasi was with Krishna. Because when Krishna would go in the pasture, the mothers and the gopis would be sad. And when Krishna would come back in the evening and would be at his home, the gopas were sad and the cows were sad. And at night when Krishna would be having his midnight rendezvous, then everybody else would be sad that why does we have to sleep and Brahma has made these islands. But for 7 days and 7 nights, all of the Brajvasis associated with Krishna, and Krishna fulfilled everybody's heart's desire. He went inside the heart of every jiva and fulfilled their eternal rasas with them. So this has happened. And then of course Indra finally came down from Airavat to throw his thunderbolt at Krishna. Okay, so the clouds and my military industrial complex did not work. Let me try myself. So Krishna comes and Indra comes, and there is this tumultuous noise of Airavat and Indra and his deep state coming with him. And Krishna simply just smiled, just a glance, just a little smile, little twirl of his lip, and Indra froze, paralysis, stroke, could not even move. Like a joker, he stood standing there. with his Airavat. Krishna, and then after that, Indra fell down hard and he could not move. Then Krishna said, okay, now you can leave. Indra goes back and he's morose. Now he realized what he has done. He consults with the spiritual master. His spiritual master says the only way to rectify this offense, this aparad, you go to Surabhi Loka and ask forgiveness from mother cow, from Surabhi. In Govardhan, there is a kund called Surabhi Kund. In conditioned state, we do knowingly, unknowingly, because of our personality, commit a lot of offenses. The best way to atone for offenses is actually to serve mother cow. Of course, the best way is to apologize. Whenever the pride and intoxication and our ignorance is removed, whenever that happens, then we should apologize. Because we are intoxicated with pride. We should apologize, humble ourselves before the Lord and try to rectify ourselves. But also, we should go to Mother Cow and ask her to intervene and intercede on our behalf. She's a living person. And if Mother Surabhi or Mother Cow intervenes on your behalf to Krishna, then there is some possibility of rectifying the offense. Krishna comes with Surabhi. Surabhi cow is very merciful mother. She requested Krishna that here is Indra. He's very ashamed to even come in front of him for all this offense he has done. Indra realized what he has done for 7 days and 7 nights. And Indra humbles himself. Not only Indra humbles, but all of the devatas, they come and they offer Krishna aratik and worship and beautiful prayers. Indra's prayers to Krishna are there in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. So those prayers have to be read for atonement of offense. Okay. Now, some pastime. So this is the basic principle framework story of Govardhan Puja. Some lessons to be learned from this pastime. Number one, Bhagavad Gita is very, very clear about it. We give our worship to politicians, to film stars, to sportsmen, to beautiful people. We give our worship to so many things. One should worship Krishna alone. Antavattu phalam tesha yad bhavati alpamedhasam. Those whose knowledge and intelligence is very puny, they worship other things for very temporary benefits. But those benefits at the most are very temporary. They give happiness for very, very small amount of time. And sensual happiness, as I said, is always mixed with suffering. So the first principle Krishna says to this pastime is, you worship me alone. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna declares that my land Vrindavan and my hill Govardhan is as sacred as me. So take shelter of Vrindavan. Take shelter of Giriraj. Our acharyas, our tradition, thousands of years, and in fact millions of years. Everybody has taken shelter of Shri Giriraj. So on this day, the most important message is to take shelter of Giriraj. At least sometime we can go. Yes, Vrindavan is in consciousness, no doubt about that. But there is no, Srila Prabhupada recommended that devotees should go to Vrindavan and go to Govardhan and do parikrama and do puja and serve the cows and get people of knowledge and do bhajan and do knowledge. Second principle, that Vrindavan and Govardhan, of course, in this pastime, when Brajvasis offered their annakut, Krishna took the form of Govardhan hill and devoured and ate everything. Welcome. Welcome, please come. We'll finishing up in 2-3 minutes and then we'll have kirtan and prasad. You guys are welcome to come and sit up here, please. Please come and please don't be shy. You can come and sit here. Welcome. Happy Diwali to all of you. and then finally, this pastime teaches us the danger of pride. The danger of pride and asking for, and the atonement by forgiveness. So I'll stop here. Some new guests are here. We'll begin Aarti and Kirtan momentarily. Then we'll have a festival of Govardhan Puja. And then we'll have a Diwali feast, a special Diwali feast for everybody. Okay, is there any comments? Or?
Festival, for 10 minutes. If you want to extend 10 minutes, then somebody else.
Okay. So 10 more minutes, few more minutes. Anybody has any questions or comments or discussion about Govardhan Leela? Start with. Okay, thank you very much. We'll get up, we'll have Kirtan, Hare Krishna Kirtan, right?
Yes. So schedule is that now we're going to do Kirtan